I'm going to go over an interview to show you how these people think.
Fat because I drink too much red wine and I don't exercise enough.
That's not true. You're not fat because of what you eat and how much exercise you do. That is the line that everybody is led to believe.
Obviously, you are fat because of your lifestyle. Okay. I mean, people didn't used to be fat, almost anybody 150 years ago. Okay. You can do things to control your lifestyle and to control your weight. But if people believe this, if they believe that they have no input on it, then they know that they don't have the power. They think that they know. So they know. Perception is reality. They perceive that they know that they can't gain weight. So this is an attitude that I want people to be paying attention to. You do whatever you want when you're listening to the podcast, but they know they do not have the power to do anything about their weight. So they don't, I guess. And I think that that's a bad attitude to have. Let's continue.
You now and ran up and down Leicester Square for 3 hours and then went home and had a piece of lettuce and then came in and did the same tomorrow and the day after that and the day after that, I would start to look like a supermodel.
Only for a few months, and then you would stop. In fact, you would start regaining weight within the first year. That is a fact. That's not fiction. That is an absolute fact.
So obviously this is nonsense. It's nonsense. It's not a fact. This speaks to something else. It speaks to when someone reads a study, even a social studies study, a social science study, that's not like a physics paper or something. They believe that it's infallible truth, and that's not true. It's not true that it's infallible truth because there's human involvement in it, okay? There are issues with the testing, but what this woman is alluding to is that there have been studies where people do that it doesn't matter what you do for a diet, you will fall back into your old weight. And that's because of lifestyle. It's not because it's impossible to keep the weight off. It's because if you diet without changing your lifestyle, it's not going to do anything because you're going to go back to it if you don't continue that diet forever because you need to change your lifestyle. But again, it's a defeatist attitude, unfortunately. They don't live a daily life that supports this. You couldn't be fat 2,000 years ago, 500 years ago. You couldn't be fat in a lot of places in the world, even 50 years ago, because there wasn't enough food and people had to work and they had to work physically and they had to work outside and their endocrine systems were working and burning calories. And now people sit in chairs and they don't get outside. They don't get exercise. They eat processed crap that doesn't satiate them, but gives them all these empty calories. So they keep eating more. It's not natural. Oh, I'm already mad. I'm already getting mad. Oh, Andrew's going to love this. You work at a desk and you eat the Western diet, you're kind of screwed. You have to make your lifestyle, you have to work really hard to do it. Whereas in the past, most people's lifestyles just led them to this. They just led them to living a healthy life because of what they eat being just what's around them and a food culture, having a food culture, but more on that later.
And there is literally no evidence that weight loss is going to benefit anybody's health, whether they're a child or an adult.
Come on, man. This is where it really starts to get me because they're talking about kids. They think it's okay that kids are obese. They're not giving these kids a chance because if you're fat as a child, it's way harder. And yes, this is shown in statistics, but it's because of the culture. It's because of the lifestyle. If you're fat as a child, those are the habits that you know. If you believe it's impossible, you won't make the changes necessary, but there are changes that you can make. So if you're listening to this and you're fat, please don't take this attitude. It's okay that you're fat in the sense that you shouldn't hate yourself. You should love yourself and you should accept yourself. And that is why you should lose the weight so that you feel better and that you're eating things that connect you to humanity, that don't make you feel like crap, that don't make you feel lethargic, that don't make you extra weight, that isn't fun to walk around. Like, don't you like taking deep breaths? Don't you like not being winded as you walk up the stairs? I digress.
I'm willing to stake my medical career on the fact that that the lies that we've been sold about obesity, especially childhood obesity, are not true. They are there to benefit the weight loss industry.
The weight loss industry is small. And I'm not saying there's not bad actors in it because there's bad actors everywhere trying to make a quick buck. The processed food industry is much larger. They're a massive lobby. They give so much money. We're going to talk about some specific examples in a minute, but they give a lot of money towards funding this.
Up to 98% of people that attempt weight loss will have regained all the weight within 5 years.
Evidence is very clear. Up to 98% of people that attempt weight loss will have regained all the weight within 5 years. That's her evidence on why it's a fact. That is seriously her evidence. Yes. Because they don't make a lifestyle change. I'm beating a dead horse.
Second thing, this idea that energy in and energy out and energy...
This woman doesn't believe in physics. This is probably the same type of people who wants you to trust the science and whatever, and she doesn't believe in physics. I understand it's more complicated than calories in, calories out, but really it's not.